I ended up leaving my job after 6 months just because I couldn't really stand it. And I wasn't waking up excited, and I was just kind of going through the motions of life. My friends and family didn't necessarily support it, but they weren't like against it. It was more of, oh, he's doing something different now. I never really thought of starting a business or being an entrepreneur. I grew up in Pittsburgh. I was always super, interested in math and science and stuff in school, and that led me on a kind of clear trajectory to get into engineering. And then I eventually went on to college at the University of Dayton in Ohio, where I studied civil engineering. Like most college kids and everything, I was just super focused on having fun, partying, chasing girls, all of that. And that led to the first couple years of not doing that great in school and almost failing out and reassessing everything, or switching majors, switching colleges. And I was watching this documentary before I graduated called Finding Joe, about Joseph Campbell and his philosophy and everything. And it really made me think about what is, my bliss. And he talks a lot about the hero's journey and how it relates to a lot of stories and religions. I ended up getting a job back here in Pittsburgh with an engineering firm. As an engineer, you are building and designing things, but you're doing it within kind of this bubble with these constraints, with managers and clients and all sorts of things. So there's not too much creativity. As I started working, I just kept getting this feeling that I wasn't really being creative, I wasn't innovating, I was not really living up to my full potential. 2016, I moved down to Miami with one of my mentors to start a real estate company. We were doing Airbnb rentals, wholesaling, foreclosure auctions, all sorts of distressed real estate stuff. And it was great because I really wanted to learn all about it, and I did, and I got to experience a lot of that. But the real estate industry is, there are parts of it that are innovative, but a lot of traditional real estate is very cut and dry. And I also just wanted to really do something that I was passionate about. And I got the same feeling that I had when I was in engineering as I did when I was in real estate, where this is cool, and I'm glad I learned this because it's problem solving, it's learning about investing in money and whatnot, both engineering and real estate. But it was something that I knew I needed to do something for myself, on my own, and something that was going to make a massive impact and be innovative, and I could really express my creativity with it. And as soon as you make the mindset switch to being a creator and an entrepreneur, most of you who are entrepreneurs know what I'm talking about. The mindset and lifestyle is very different. It's actually very hard to have conversations with your friends and family who aren't entrepreneurs, because you're interested in very different things, and it's almost like you're speaking a different language. So I started having this desire to meet other like-minded people and other entrepreneurs. So I would just hit people up on Instagram and all sorts of social media platforms and just have conversations and network. And what I found was a lot of people were looking for the same thing. They were so eager to have a conversation with me just because I was an entrepreneur or wanted to be. So I ended up starting what is the precursor to Entre, which was Millennial Entrepreneur Group. And it was just a Facebook group, and I would just find people on Instagram and other platforms and invite them, and basically everyone was, for it. There was very few people that didn't want to network with other like-minded people and other entrepreneurs. So it was something that I knew was important for me, but also other people. When I really looked at the numbers, how many people, well over 500 million worldwide, that are entrepreneurs, and that's going to be growing a lot with freelancers and all sorts of things and startups. There's a massive market opportunity here, and it was something that I knew I needed to act quickly on, and it was right in line with what I wanted to do, my passions, everything was lined up. Started building out this membership site and this online community for entrepreneurs. And at the time it was mostly millennials, but we had other people who wanted to join. And it was never about, being a millennial or not a millennial. It was more about just being an entrepreneur, really understanding what entrepreneurs want, their pain points, and going through it ourselves as well. We were building a platform for what we wanted. So I started doing events because I just wanted to meet other people in Pittsburgh. And, like the first event, there was, probably like 15 people, and it was at a conference room in one of the co-working spaces here. We ended up doing over 200 events in the last couple of years across 12 different cities and building out this community. Obviously, I've gone through a lot of ups and downs over my journey as an entrepreneur. Many, many people do. Founder mental health is a serious thing. A lot of people go through burnouts, myself included. There's a lot of times where you have terrible news and great news and terrible news. So there's so many ups and downs. In the background over the last 2 years, we've been building out our tech, the app, mobile and web app, and really building like this future of work social network, right, for the next generation of business. We're in a crazy period of time, which is this, coronavirus pandemic, and it's really put a lot of things in perspective. But what we're doing now is even more important than ever, building out this network for the future of work, flexible work, remote work. We're dedicated to helping entrepreneurs, which is why, we rebranded last year to Entre. So it's in our name, it's in our brand, and it's in our DNA.